shouldn't have let Varia go in there alone. When a Clockwork Apostle discovers an unexplainable phenomenon, it can be a moment of unbounded joy or utter terror. That strange portal over there definitely falls into the second category. Portals aren't a common occurrence in the Clockwork City. When Acolyte Varia and I approached to investigate, I had a sudden urge to leap inside. I was able to resist its pull, but Varia stepped through the portal and hasn't returned. I need to make sure no one else wanders into the portal. But maybe you could go in and find Acolyte Varia. This perception tabulator automatically records whatever you experience and should be able to locate my associate. Take it and use it well. Step into the portal when you're ready. The perception tabulator will locate Varia and lead you back to Clockwork City after you complete your investigation. I'll study the phenomenon from out here and make sure no one else enters the portal. Mysterious? I would say it falls more into the suspicious category, what with the fact that it tried to lure me inside. Anyway, we were patrolling this quadrant of the radius, and when I noticed the portal out of the corner of my eye. That's just one of the technological instruments used by the Clockwork Apostles to conduct research and perform experiments throughout the Clockwork City. I'm sure its recording capabilities will work splendidly in wherever that portal leads to. You doubt my credentials? I have served as a scholar and priest of Sotha Seal for a long time. The temporal currents flow somewhat more haphazardly here than they do in Tamriel. We can discuss this more after you find Varia. Acolyte Varia can be rash, but she's as devoted to the Clockwork City as I am. I can't say if she was compelled by the same impulse that assaulted me, or if she truly wanted to see what was on the other side. You must find her, please.
The Great Gear turns in my favor for a change. You have a perception tabulator. Did Adjunct Daro send you to find me? Of course he did. Listen carefully, and there might still be time to realign this befouled contraption. That should be the least of your concerns. If you don't do exactly what I tell you, you'll end up like me. Then who will protect the Clockwork City from this Oblivion infestation? You need to destroy the Shadow Array. Some foul device that Night Sister Chimera uses to lure people into the Shadow Cleft and bind them to these scarecrows. If you can destroy it, we'll be set free. Without the Shadow Array, Nocturnal's plans will be set back or even foiled completely. Not so loud. Nocturnal has ears everywhere. She's one of the Daedric princes. They aren't supposed to be able to breach the Clockwork City's defenses, but nothing works properly anymore. Hurry! You must destroy the Shadow Array!
Feels like I've been protecting this field for hundreds of years. But I'm certain I just entered this realm a day or so ago. What an odd question. I spotted a portal that should not have been there, and I entered it to see where it led. I determined that this Shadow Cleft is part of the Everglow. How I wound up trapped in a scarecrow, well, that's still somewhat hazy. You've never heard of the Everglow? It's the Oblivion realm that belongs to Nocturnal, the Night Mistress. I'm sure this Shadow Cleft represents some sort of attack on the Clockwork City, but there's only so much I can determine in my current state. I see you have one of our perception tabulators. Continue your investigation and make sure that device gets into the hands of a Clockwork Apostle. Be careful. If you end up infused with a scarecrow, then everything you learn will be lost.
How dare you interrupt my vigil? What nonsense impels you to such a rash and impetuous action? You dare question the sacred duty that has been placed before me? I'll have you know What am I doing here? What is this place? I remember coming to the Clockwork City when a teleportation ritual went awry. I was looking for a way out when I noticed a strange portal appear in the radius. It called to me. Next thing I know, I'm standing guard over this empty field. I remember that you interrupted my vigil. If my attention wavers for even a moment, those crows will take advantage and strip this field to the ground. Leave me! There are secrets in the dark and the night is here!
return to the Clockwork City and let Darrow know what you learned.
You returned! I must admit, I wasn't sure you'd be able to do that. Do you have the perception tabulator? And what of Acolyte Varia? Were you able to locate her in there? Dead? Shadow Array? I suppose the perception tabulator will explain everything. I'll study it right away. In the meantime, take this. A little something for helping the Clockwork Apostles today.
I'm warning you. Don't even think you can hassle me just because I'm an apostle. Wait a minute. Where did you find that Brassilisk? So that's where Brassy went. He must have taken a wrong turn or been swept away by the oil in the pipes. I thought I lost him forever. Oh, well, not to say that I'm so attached to a mere toy. I just didn't want to lose all that data. Why else would I put Brassy in the pipes? I wanted to see where they led. So I tasked him with exploring the pipelines and archiving what was found. Gave me quite the scare when he ceased responding last night. Set bless you. I can't wait to delve into all this collected data. Please take this for your trouble. Knowledge may go beyond value, but I hope this shows my gratitude. Come on, Brassy. Let's get you set up for analysis.
more dull.
Want to help Slagtown become a little more enchanting?
Capable combatants needed for hazardous work. Please respond for more information.
All are welcome here. Lord Set made this city to share.
Is this how machines feel as their gears wind down? It's wondrous, isn't it? Elegant, meticulous, timeless. I once took joy in studying the perfection of this realm, but now every revolution of the great gear only tightens the vice in my chest. Tell me, are you here to unravel Lord Set's mysteries? Then may I impose on you as a fellow seeker. For all my learning, I can think of no escape from my predicament, save one. An experiment performed by one of my order, for which she was cast out from the Clockwork Apostles. I need you to find her. Terere Heladrin was ahead of her time. It was fear that led to her expulsion, not reason. I see that now. Please find her. Tell her I'll make it right if she'll save my life. There is no one among the Order I can turn to. She is my only hope. Terere has been gone a very long time, but her ill-fated experiment created a persistent disorder in the grand schema. Its motions are chaotic, but not entirely unpredictable. Following it may provide some clue to her whereabouts. Age Seeker. Too many grains from the hourglass have gathered in this humble body. They've worn its workings so thin. I don't think it will be long before I join the inert, but I'm not ready. There's still so much to see. Terere's ambitious experiment resulted in a factotum going haywire. It reduced portions of the brass fortress to shambles before taking its rampage off into the reactor district. We record its movements by analyzing the destruction in its wake. We were some of Tamriel's best and brightest magi, invited to the Clockwork City by Sothasil to attend his experiments and learn from the greatest mind in creation. We have been left to our own devices for a long time. Order was needed, regulation. We believed she was meddling with forces that were solely the domain of the Clockwork God. A backward, emotional response one might expect from followers of a less enlightened deity. Destroying her notes and shunning her ideas was shameful.
Who are you? Give me one good reason why I shouldn't reduce you to dust where you stand. He what? No, absolutely not. That experiment cost me everything I held dear. I was a fool to try it. Sovor of all people should know that. The only thing I want is to put an end to Bolan's misery. You want to make things right? Help me free his soul from its machine prison. Do that, and maybe, just maybe I'll be willing to entertain this insanity. Remove the black soul gem from his factotum body and return it to me. He'll resist you, and as that machine, Bolan is extremely dangerous. He nearly killed me during his last episode. In the meantime, I'll contact Sovor, but no promises. My lover. When I was still an apostle. He was mortally wounded in an accident, beyond any hope of survival. But I couldn't accept that. I was enlightened, so I saved his life by transferring his spirit into a factotum. Bolan's consciousness took over the factotum, but the experience changed him. He always had a wild, creative mind, and I confined it to a cold, rigid prison. That stifled existence was too much to bear. It drove him mad. More than certain. Every moment that he lingers in that mechanical shell is torture. For both of us. Just don't damage the Black Soul Gem. Honestly, I'm not sure you could. But just be careful. Bolan's moods are unpredictable. In his rare lucid moments, I try to reach out to him. But no matter what I try, I only ever seem to get him worked up into a frenzy. Seeing him like that makes me wish I wouldn't blame him if he killed me. I don't know. I'd like nothing more than to smash it into 1,000 pieces. But there's no guarantee that that would redeem Bolan's soul. I've been so focused on finding and stopping that factotum that I haven't really considered what would come after.
I just want to go home. Is it over?
Dust aside, the equipment is in good order. We just need the vessel, and we can begin.
Is that them? Have they returned? The world. Terere said you had gone to retrieve a black soul gem for my procedure. Take it to her if you have it. I don't want to linger another moment in this failing body.
This is dredging up so many unpleasant memories. Please tell me you've managed to show Bolin some measure of peace. That's something at least. I've agreed to attempt my experiment again with Sovar as my subject. He's promised to petition the Order to end my exile if I'm successful. But I couldn't care less about that. I just want this to be over. The truth is, I need Sovar as much as he needs me. I think the only way I can safely extract Bolin's soul from the gem is to offer it something in exchange. Who knows if I'll ever have another willing subject? Can I count on your assistance? I'd like you close at hand in case Sovar has a similar reaction to the experiment as Bolin. Throw that switch when you're ready to begin the transfer. I'll keep watch on the equipment from here. It's begun. Now would be the time to play.
I have faith in your sense. Observe, learn, apply. Trust in his grand design.
Yes. It's sublime. This order.
Ifre, I can feel. Thank you. I can feel.
I think it worked. Please. Please let it have worked. Is it him? Is that really my Bolin or just what's left? Will he hate me? Will he even recognize me? I can't. I can't do this. I can't face him. I know. It's better than not knowing, always wondering, but thank you for ending this. I need a moment. I don't think Bolin has long. Bolin? Is it you? Speak to me. I need to know it's still you, please.
Terrori, when did we get so old? It's time now, isn't it?
It is. You're free now. I'm sorry for all the pain it caused.
Enough tears, love. We're liable to rust. There. That's the smile.
Did you see? Bolin! It was him. He seemed whole again. Oh yes. He does seem to be coping well, or he's at least more sedate in his insanity. Don't worry. I'll keep watch over him, and make sure he doesn't lapse into some violent fugue. He'd been suffering for so long. I'm glad his passing was a peaceful one. I have to hope that wherever he finds to rest, he's the same beautiful soul I remember, not the tormented mind I saw in that machine. I'd mostly accepted that there would be no end to my punishment. I don't know that I can believe all this might work out in the end. I'll be watchful, not hopeful, for a while yet. I will try. I haven't had much cause for celebration in a long time. Out of practice. It's going to take some work. Sover seems convinced that the Clockwork Apostles need a mind like mine. I won't hold my breath waiting for them to agree. I'll keep in his company for a while. At least until I'm convinced he's stable. After that, I really can't say. Maybe it's Sovor's faith in Sothasil's wisdom, or his willingness or understanding of the transition, or maybe he's just better suited to it. Bolin wasn't a Clockwork Apostle, and I made that choice for him. It was a selfish mistake.
I am one with Lord Set's grand design. I can feel my purpose in my very core. My mind is free of the clutter of my living needs. I am no longer burdened by the weight of my decaying flesh. I am free. Thank you. All cogs drive the mechanism. Removing any one from the chain, no matter how small, results in failure. I would no longer exist without the both of you. As promised, I will ensure Terra's reinstatement to the Order. All cogs drive the mechanism. Continue the quest for understanding. It has always been my purpose, and I have never been better suited for it. In this form, I may labor as tirelessly as Lord Set himself. They will need to be convinced of many things. My authenticity, my condition, Terra's reintroduction. Have faith that their flaws will be corrected. I have never been better. I may never be better. I only regret not undergoing this self-improvement sooner. The Order was faulty in denying Terra's genius. I must correct this error. There is one place where my condition would not be considered unusual. The Asylum Sanctorium. The resident alienists there can best evaluate my psyche. A stable transference will be welcome news.